Alright, this is what we're going to build today. It's a cage for, I use it for chickens that get broody. I can put them in here and it'll break them up. Or sometimes I'll put a bantam in a nest like this, in a cage like this with a little nest box and let them raise up a batch of chicks. But it's made of 1x2 welded wire. The bottom is 1/2x1 welded wire. We make these the door latches. We make the little keepers to keep the door open. Put the reinforcements in here, and anyway, get it all put together. All right, let's get started. The first order of business is to get our pieces cut out, and this is the 1/2x1 that we're going to make the bottom out of, and so it's 24 inches wide, so it needs to be 4 feet long. Next, we're going to cut the top, and this is the 1 inch by 2 inch. So it's 24 inches deep, so it needs to be 48 inches long. Now I need to cut these ends off that were left from the last cutting. Watch your eyes when you do that. Alright, so the next thing I need to do is I'm going to cut the sides, and this thing's going to be 18 inches tall. So there's one on each end and one in the middle. So I need 3 pieces that are 18 inches long. Now I've got to cut out the back and the front, and it's only 18 inches high, which would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So I could use a 4-foot section here and just cut this top part off. But I think what I'm going to do, so I don't have to waste that much wire, is I can do 18 and 18 is only, so I save a foot of wire for the front and a foot of wire for the back. But you know, may or may not be worth that to you. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is cut 2 pieces to do the back and 2 pieces to do the front. It's now time to start putting the cage together, and we're going to use these little clips. And they used to be called J clips because they make a little letter J. A lot of times you'll find them just as a cage clip. These were from Bass Equipment. I bought them years ago. I can get them at my feed store. If not, you can find them online. You also will need this pair of pliers to put them in with. So now we're going to start clipping it together, and this is our top. I'm going to start with it. And all of our sides are the same size. Alright, now to load your pliers, I always take the J clip and I put the bottom of the J where the single hook is and the open part where the 2 bars are. I just somehow think it curls it better. It probably doesn't. Alright, and then you take this bottom of the J right there and just hook it. Hook it underneath your wire. Be sure you've got both pieces of wire in there, and then just crimp it, and it'll make a little barrel around it like that. Now, since I chose not to cut a long piece and then trim the top off, I've got 2 pieces that go on the back. That's got the cages put together, but of course now you can't get anything in there. So we got to cut an opening and make the doors. To cut the hole for the doorway, I'm going to leave the wire, you know, when you cut it here you got a wire left over, and I'm going to leave that on the cage side so I can bend it down so that the doorway, when you go in and out, will be smooth and you won't cut yourself. Now we've got to cut the doorway, and it needs to be 20 by 14. This is our door, and we want to reinforce it, make it a little stiffer. And this is some wire that came off of, you know, the political signs that are all out in people's yards, and it's got like a bag over it. Well, that's where this wire came from. So we got that bent, and I just bent that on that homemade bender that I've got a video out there on how to make it. Alright, and so now we just need to cut this end off. Now to install it, you want to put it inside. I want to reinforce the lower part of the door, so I'm going to take just another piece of this. Alright, so now I'll just get the one on the other side made. Now we're going to make the little keeper that holds the door open when you push it up. And first we just want to turn a little piece back. This is just a 1/2 inch strip of sheet metal. Then we give it another, let's see, another bend right about there. And then back like that, so it looks like that. Alright, and then we'll get it put in place. Alright, so we go back where the door hangs. And set it right there. Get us a pair of pliers and creep it on there. And then you just kick it back, and then when you open your door, it'll push that back and then sit in it like that. We got to make the door latch for down here. Alright, so to make the latches, we've got pieces of sheet metal cut. This is what will be able to hold it to the door, and this will be our actual latch. So we'll take a punch and punch a hole for that to swing on. And of course I'm making 2 of these, so gotta do another one. Now, these need a hole right in the middle of them. And I've measured off the ends to know where that is. Now I'm just going to put a little nut through, bolt through there with a little nut on the back side. So I've got that screwed on there, and then what I'm going to do is take a little pair of bolt cutters. Probably would have been easier if I'd cut it off before I bolted it on there. Nip that off, and then take a ball-peen hammer. I don't want it super tight. I want it to be able to swing freely. So I think that's going to work really well. And then on the bottom of my door, I just want to bend this up like that, just to give you a little something to flick. Alright, so I'll get the other one made. So I've made a couple of little marks on here where that's where I held it up to the wire, and that's where the ends of the wire are. So now I'm just going to use my vise to bend, get this pre-bent. Just drop it down to the line. Try to get it straight up and down pretty much. Doesn't have to be perfect. And give it a bend. Alright, so now we'll get one of these put on here. And that looks like it'll be a good place. Alright, there's our door latch. Alright, there's our other door latch. Alright, that's got our cage finished, ready to hang, and put some chickens or whatever I need to put in there. Hope you enjoyed this project. Thank you for watching.